Weekend mornings hit differently, and psychology has a lot to say about that. The strange thing is, most people don't even realize how much their personality changes between a stressful Monday morning and a slow Saturday sunrise. During the week, your brain works like a machine: alarms, responsibilities, deadlines, notifications, pressure. But the moment the weekend arrives, your mind suddenly changes mode completely. You wake up slower, think deeper, eat more, scroll longer, and somehow start remembering embarrassing moments from 5 years ago while staring at the ceiling. It's almost like your brain becomes another person on weekends, and honestly, it kind of does. One of the weirdest psychology facts is that people often wake up earlier on weekends even when they plan to sleep longer. Your body gets confused because it's finally relaxed. On weekdays, stress hormones force you out of bed like a hostage situation, but on weekends, your brain wakes naturally for the first time all week. That peaceful silence in the morning feels addictive because your nervous system is finally calm. This is why many people just lie in bed doing absolutely nothing for 30 minutes. It looks lazy from the outside, but psychologically, your brain is enjoying freedom without pressure. Another funny thing is how dramatically people change once they touch their phones on weekend mornings. Most people say, "I'll just check one notification," and then suddenly 2 hours disappear into social media. Psychology explains this through dopamine behavior. Your brain loves low-effort pleasure after waking up. Since weekends remove urgency and responsibility, your sense of time becomes weaker. That's why scrolling in bed feels like entering another dimension where minutes turn into hours without warning. Your brain basically becomes a professional procrastinator wearing pajamas. Weekend mornings also make people strangely emotional. You could be peacefully drinking tea, looking outside the window, and suddenly remember a random heartbreak, an old friendship, or an embarrassing moment from school. This happens because your brain finally has silence. During busy weekdays, your mind suppresses emotions to survive stress. But once things slow down, hidden thoughts quietly return to the surface. That's why calm mornings sometimes feel nostalgic without any reason. Your brain uses quiet moments to process emotions it ignored all week long. Psychologists also say humans become more honest with themselves during relaxed mornings. That's why people suddenly start making deep life plans on Saturdays. At 8 a.m., someone is lying in bed thinking, "I need to change my life completely." But by evening, they're eating snacks and watching videos again. Weekend motivation feels powerful because your brain temporarily escapes stress and starts imagining a better future. The problem is, imagination is easier than action, so most people become philosophers before breakfast and sleepy potatoes after lunch. One of the funniest weekend behaviors is reward eating. People crave heavier, sweeter, and more comforting foods because the brain emotionally connects weekends with happiness and freedom. Pancakes feel better on Saturdays. Tea tastes calmer. Late breakfasts feel luxurious even if it's just eggs and bread. Your brain isn't only feeding hunger, it's feeding emotion. Food becomes part of relaxation psychology, which explains why diets mysteriously become weaker near weekends. Another interesting fact is how people suddenly become creative during slow mornings. Ideas appear while showering, walking around the house, or staring at nothing. This happens because your brain enters a relaxed mental state called the default mode network. It's active when you stop forcing focus. In simple words, your best thoughts often appear when you're not trying to think at all. That's why random weekend ideas sometimes feel smarter than hours of serious work during weekdays. Weekend mornings also expose how much humans secretly love doing nothing. Modern society makes people feel guilty for resting, but psychologically, unproductive time is necessary. Your brain cannot stay in survival mode forever. Quiet mornings, slow breakfasts, sitting near windows, listening to rain, or even laying on the couch without purpose can actually help your nervous system recover from stress. Sometimes the most productive thing for your mental health is simply allowing yourself to rest without guilt. And maybe that's why weekend mornings feel so special. They remind people what life feels like without constant pressure. For a few peaceful hours, the brain stops chasing deadlines and starts acting human again. That slow sunlight through the window, the silence of early morning, the laziness, the random thoughts, the comfort food, the endless scrolling, the emotional memories. None of it is accidental. It's psychology. Your brain is trying to recover, breathe, and feel safe again before another chaotic week begins.